Where you are headed is where you are going. Yep, that's right. Where you're headed is where you are going. Welcome to the Daily Genius. I am Dr. Moreland, Dr. Will. Super excited that you guys are inside the nation here with me. If you are watching this outside our private Facebook group, when I refer to the nation, I'm talking about Genius Nation. It is our private Facebook group that has over 1,000 individuals that are committed to becoming the best version of themselves. So if you are not a part of Genius Nation, I invite you, I welcome you to become a part of the nation. Once we get finished with this video, just go over to Facebook and join Genius Nation. It's a free private group where we want to inspire you, where we want to motivate you, where we want to assist you in becoming the best version of yourself. So invite yourself right on into the community. So where you are headed is where you are going. Today, I want to talk to you about how to set the right goals, So when we talk about setting goals, we're getting ready to head into a brand new year, and people are going to have resolutions, we're going to have goals and all that type of stuff. But I want to help you set the right type of goals. So when we talk about goals should do three things for you. Number one, your goals should excite you. They should excite you. If you're not motivated about your goal, then you're probably not going to be successful in achieving it. So you want to make sure that you set goals that are exciting for you. The second thing you want to do is make sure the goal is going to stretch you. You want to make sure the goal is going to stretch you, right? You don't want to make the goal so easy where literally you could do it in your sleep, right? You want to make sure that you got to think a little. You want to make sure that you got to get out of your comfortable zone, right? So for me, one of my goals is doing these 365 videos. That's a goal of mine. I want to accomplish 365 videos inside this group. Now, my mentor, Jim Rohn, he always taught us when we talked about goal setting, he always talked about not so much the goal itself or the accomplishment of the goal, but what the goal makes of you or who you need to become to accomplish the goal. So for me, as an example, in setting out to do 365 videos, it's stretching me. I'm excited about doing it, but the person I have to become, I have to be more organized. I have to be more disciplined. I have to be forward thinking. I have to check my schedule, look at my schedule, make sure my schedule is not going to conflict. So it's making me dial in a whole lot more. So this goal of doing 365 videos, at the end of it, I'm going to be a more disciplined person. I'm going to be a more focused person. Doing 365 videos is going to help me articulate my thoughts better. Around video number 70, we're on video number 21. On video number 70, I'm going to know very well how to take an idea, take a thought that I have, and communicate it to you much better. That's a goal that's stretching me. So it's going to make me better. So when you think about your goal, don't think about just achieving the goal, but think about who it's going to make you, right? So you want it to stretch. And then that is number three. You want the goal to make you better, right? The goal should make you better. At the end of achieving the goal, you should be a better person. Now, here's some other ideas around goal setting. I like to have what I call controllable goals. And what do I mean by controllable goals? I like to have goals that I can control, meaning the achievement of the goal is in my hand. meaning there's not so many other people's hand that control my goal. I'll give you an example that I always use with my clients and something I hear people say. Let's say, for instance, a person says, I have a goal of being on the cover of Time magazine. I have a goal of being on the cover of Time magazine. So let's look at this. Time magazine publishes 12 times a year. 12 times a year, once a month. Time magazine publishes 12 times a year, once a month. So over a 10-year span, I just want us to think about this. Over a 10-year span, that's 120 covers. Now, usually the cover of Time magazine is an individual. It's an individual. So if we just look at that, that's 120 individuals out of the 8 billion people on the planet. 120 of them are going to make it to Time magazine. Now, if you know anything about Time magazine, usually they are going to cover, right, the U.S. presidency, whoever makes the presidency. So now you subtract, right, that number out of the 120. So you know it's going to go to a president. Usually that president is probably going to get on the cover maybe 1 to 3 times, right? 1 to 3 times. Then it's going to be other world leaders that get on the cover. Then it's going to be people who do something like extraordinary, that like wins the Nobel Peace Prize or something like that. And then, you know, every year something interesting happens in the world that Time is going to cover that, right? The Time is going to cover that. Then I think they have their 100 most amazing people issue. So that then takes away, you know, 10 of those out of that 120 that are going to make the cover. What's my point here? It would be wonderful. It would be great to make it to Time magazine, but there's so many other variables. There's so many other variables that go into you getting on Time. It's just not you working hard. It's just not you wishing and hoping and the law of attraction and all that kind of stuff, right? There's so many other factors that go into the cover of Time magazine. That's what I call an uncontrollable goal. I just call that an uncontrollable goal. And so a lot of people have goals that are outside of their control. And then when they don't get it, then they're disappointed, right? So I like to have goals that I can control. See, doing 365 videos, I can control that. Nobody can tell me I can't do 365 videos. As long as I have Wi-Fi, as long as I have, you know, I can do these 365 videos as long as I stay healthy, all that kind of stuff. That's majorly in my control. That's majorly in my control. So this is a goal that I can go after and feel good about, knowing that all things being equal, I can achieve this goal. I can achieve this goal. So when you're thinking about your goals, I want you to look at your goals. What's in your control? And this is by no way diminishing. Like, you can have a goal. Like, I have some goals that are out of my control. I have goals that are out of my control. One of my goals was to see my daughter get married and walk down the aisle. That's a goal that was out of my control, because my daughter may say, Dad, I don't want to get married, right? My daughter may say, Dad, I don't want to have a wedding. We're going to elope. See, that goal was out of, even though it's a goal of mine, and thank God, next year, April, I do get to fulfill that goal and walk her down the aisle, but that was a goal out of my control. Another goal that I have is that my son marries a wonderful individual and they create a beautiful life. That's a goal of mine, but it's out of my control. Once again, yes, it's still a goal, but it's out of my control. So the goals that I hold close to heart are goals that I can control. Goals that I can control. And I have big goals. Now, let me give you another example. Another one of my goals is to become Compton's first billionaire. That's one of my goals, to become Compton's first billionaire. Now, how do I approach this goal? For me, This is a fun goal. It's exciting to me to go after the billion. It's stretching me, right? I have to learn new things. I have to be around different people. I have to learn a lot about taxes and money and investments, right? It's stretching me, and it's also making me better. But this is how I approach this goal. It's a fun, lifelong goal for mine. So I've given myself until the day I die to earn $1 billion. Now, here's the deal. Whether I do or I don't, it's not going to impact my happiness. I'm happy either way. It's just a fun goal. It doesn't define me. It doesn't define me, right? When I die, whether I achieve it or not, if someone said, oh, he wanted to become a billionaire, he didn't do it, I'm dead. I don't care about your thoughts. I don't care about your opinion. I'm dead. And I'm not going to know. I'm not going to, right? when I die, I'm not going to know any longer, right? Whether I made it or not. So it's not a big deal. It's a fun goal for me. So it's no pressure, right? Do I want it to happen? Yes. Am I doing everything within my power to make it happen? Yes. But it's a goal, right? That as it relates to the effort, I control the effort, right? I fully understand, like, to become a billionaire, I've been studying billionaires for 25 years. You have to impact a lot of people. You have to have a program, a system, or a product that impacts. So just knowing me, I know I'm probably going to end up partnering with somebody that has an amazing technology or some type of amazing product, and I'm going to invest in it. And that investment and a couple of investments like that is going to get me over the hump. So I have a pathway, like right now in my mind, I have a pathway that gets me to about 300 million. I know at 300 million, I'll have to make some different type of investment. So even with that, I have to learn how to mitigate my risk, right? Mitigate my risk, but also I got to be a risk taker, because I'm going to have to risk some of the money that I've earned to get to the level that I want to get to. So all of these things is making me better. It's stretching me, and it's exciting to me. So when you look at your goals, ask yourself, man, does this goal excite me? Does this goal stretch me? And does this goal make me better? And is it a controllable goal? Is it a controllable goal? Meaning that your hard work and your effort goes 90% into making that goal happen, right? That way you don't have a lot of other hands. Give you another example. For those of you who work in corporate America per se, when you just look up at the makeup of corporate America, you have one CEO, you have, right, a CFO, COO, right, that triangle of leadership. If you have a goal of becoming the CEO of your company, that's a great goal to have. It should excite you. It should stretch you. It should make you better. But understand that company probably has a board of directors. There's probably 20 to 30 other people at your job that have that same goal. And so at the end of the day, somebody, when their current CEO retires or goes to another company, only one person's going to get that position. And so if there's 30 people that want that position, 29 people are going to be disappointed, because there's too many other variables in there that would cause you to ascend to that level. It doesn't matter how hard you work, doesn't matter how efficient you are. There's a lot of things that go into becoming the CEO of a company that are outside of your control, right? So is it a great goal to have? Sure. Reaching for CEO may get you to COO, may get you to CFO, may get you to regional vice president. It may stretch you to go further than you probably would have went if you were just being nonchalant. So, have that stretch goal, man, I want to be CEO of the company, but understand that it may not happen, and it may not happen because, and it has nothing to do with you. You know, I talk to high school kids all the time that want to be professional athletes in the NBA per se. In the NBA, there's only 400 players that get to be in the NBA. 400 that get to be in the NBA. Out of that 400, let's say 200 have a career that spans more than 5 years. So every year they're rotating like 200 players in and out of the NBA, in and out of the NBA, right? The average NBA career is anywhere between 1 to 3 years, and they're rotating them out. They're getting new players in, right? So in that 200 gap, there's 1,600 colleges in the United States, right, that have basketball teams. And then we now start adding all the international players that are all vying for these 200 spots. You not making it to the NBA may not have anything to do with your athletic ability. It may have to do with just wasn't enough spots. Just wasn't the right timing. See, that's an uncontrollable. All you can do in that scenario is do what you can do to position yourself. But even in positioning yourself doesn't automatically mean you're going to go pro, right? So you do everything you can to make it happen, understanding that it may not happen. And that has nothing to do with your effort, your desire, your will, or anything like that. And so that's how a lot of people, get disappointed in life, because of these uncontrollable, out of their hands goals. So for me, what has been really successful for me is, yes, to set high goals, but to have goals that are controllable, meaning that I can navigate them, I can control them, and my effort and energy has a lot to do with the success of achieving the goal. So I hope this helped you out, gave you something to think about. Go out there and have an amazing day today, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow morning inside the nation.